I did not just raise a son. I raised a young black man, and that changes everything. Let me tell you about the weight of that. Okay. So, ever since my son was born, and me having the reality check that I'm bringing a young black boy into this world, it has been heavy for the last past 18 years. And that is just different. It's very different. And now that my son is getting ready to go off to college, going back to the States, the weight is like a ton of bricks. It's the heaviest it's ever been in my life because I have to face the fact that he's going off into the world and me knowing what is happening in the States right now and what has happened, my whole life, his whole life. I'm fearful. I'm very fearful because of the fact that I've had my son in close proximity and he's young and I'm the protector as the mother. I'm the one who keeps him, who carries him, who protects him, who teaches him, who is there to pick him up when he falls and, to stop him from getting into things and to be the sounding board when he's getting ready to make a decision that will not put him in the best position, right? So I think about this now with my more intentional, more aware self. And I'm like, man, I'm getting ready to send this kid back to the States to go to college and knowing what is happening in the world. We see young black men getting killed, just senseless gun violence. We see police brutality, against black men. We see just a case of in the wrong place at the wrong time. We see case of just, being people are just envious and jealous of you and they want to, take you out because they just have no moral compass. We see so much happening in the world right now where our young black men are the target. And it's so unfortunate and it makes me fearful because I could not imagine something happening to my son, right? And then he's no longer in close proximity. He will be back in the States and I'm here in Europe. And like I said, just to sum it up, the weight of that is so heavy. Our young black men do not have the cards stacked up in their favor. They have to do and be and work 10 times harder. They have to solidify themselves in the world. They have to find and have purpose. They have to be great. They have to, dress a certain way to not be profiled, or they have to um, just subject themselves to so much more scrutiny, and they have to be so much more mindful of how they are showing up and how they are presenting themselves. And I have tried and tried to drill that into my son. And I have tried to make that, a consistent talking point in his everyday life. You are representing this family when you step out the house. You are representing yourself. You have to show up in a way that is presentable because somebody else may not be ready to receive you in your totality, in your the full scope of you. You have to and it's so unfortunate, bend, adjust sometimes and give and do all the things, perform in a way because you are being assessed or judged or being put in a box. And it is the most unfortunate thing and it is very, very scary. Um, I was talking to a friend not long ago and they were saying that their one of their other coworkers' friends had come home from college on spring break and he was at the basketball court and some other kid they were getting into it because of a bad call, bad pass, whatever it was, and the kid pulled out a gun and shot him. And it literally, like I wanted to break down in the moment in the office. I really just suppressed it because I was just like, WTF. Like that kind of stuff, you hear about it all the time. And the unfortunate thing is in our Black communities, it happens. it happens and it's frequent, and sometimes it's just like the everyday thing. It's the way of life. It is what our young Black men are facing every single day. And it is really hard. It is hard to think about that and swallow that. So I say all that to say, like I said, it is a weight, and I'm carrying that, and I'm thinking about that, and I'm trying to, yeah, really prepare myself for that. And I've been trying to really talk to my son, and so has my husband, to try to give him some lessons. And we've done this since he was a kid, to teach him about certain things. When he was young, he used to ride his bike up to the gym in Arlington because he was boxing at the time. And we would always tell him, hey, once again, you are a young Black man out here riding your bike a couple of miles up the road to go to the gym to get your practice on, your boxing or whatever. Keep your head on the swivel. Make sure you are aware, looking around you, what's going on, people walking towards you, walking behind you. When you're riding your bike and you're crossing the streets, be aware. Like, if somebody stops you, if the police stop you, we used to tell him legitly, like, and I'm almost afraid to even meant to say this, but we used to tell him, just speed off. But I know that that could cause even more problems. So we told him that, what, maybe you don't do that. Maybe what you do is you pick up the phone and say, I need to call my parents. You pick up the phone and you say, I need to call my parents right now. Like, I cannot talk to you. I cannot stop, and I cannot, whatever. I need to call my parents right now. And you pick up the phone and you call us and you allow us to speak and advocate for you, or we get in the car and shoot there, wherever you are, type of thing. But it's so crazy that you have to prepare for that. And honestly, I don't even know how, if you can prepare. I don't even know, like, you can see things online, news clips. You can see people giving, educational tips about how to prepare when you get stopped by the police. Keep your hands up, say I'm reaching for my ID, and all the things. But no matter how much you teach and tell and try to, pour into them and instill them in them, you really never prepare in when that moment presents itself. I believe you're really never prepared. And the more I've been in Europe for a couple of years now, and so I haven't encountered this, but when I see it on TV, it's like people do all the things right. Our young Black men and women do all the things right, and they still end up in devastating situations. And it's like, honest to goodness, I'm just trying to teach my son now. Now you're a grown man, and the police and different authority figures, they will deal with you. They will not call us. They will not say, I need to speak to your parents. They will not do any of that. It is you now, because you are an adult. So, with that being said, you have to know how to handle yourself. You need to know what your rights are. You need to know how to de-escalate situations so that you could maintain a safe stance and a safe position for yourself. Have your emergency contact information or point of contacts on hand, speed dial, and ready to call. Know that you can say, I would like to, make a phone call, or I would like to have somebody else present here. Like, know what your rights are, and just be able to advocate for yourself and de-escalate situations so that you don't end up in a bad situation. So it's so difficult, and it's so scary. And honest to God, I think about this and how prepared he is. And I'm hoping that all the conversations we've had, all of the lessons we tried to teach, that they will come to the forefront if and when the situation ever presents itself. I just think about it, and honestly, it's scary. It's very scary. And I'm just trying to deal with that weight and do all that I can now to have as many conversations as I can, because like, it's crunch time. It's crunch time. Like, he literally is getting ready to go off to school in another month or two, August. So the goal is to just give all of the information, pour it all in, whatever lessons we can give, whatever lessons learned we can talk about. Like, that is the goal right now. And that is the point, which is pour that all on him so that he could be aware. And that even if he is not necessarily aware, you know who to call, and you know where you can go to get some advocacy because yeah, it's interesting. And what I cannot prepare him for and what I cannot necessarily, what I have not taught because I don't know or I'm not necessarily thinking about, that's where prayer comes in. That's where faith comes in. That's where I am on my knees and I'm legitly going before the Lord to say, I need you to keep this kid. I need you to protect him and yeah, keep your angels surrounding him because it's hard out here. It is definitely hard. And that's a I'm surrendering to faith and that's all I can say. That's all I can do. Yeah. And I will say that I'm definitely most times you don't know how your child is going to react or respond to certain things because you just don't know. You just hope and pray that what you've instilled in them, they will show up appropriately. But I will say I'm grateful that I believe my son, his presence, his demeanor, his character, and everything about him is is not aggressive. It's kind, and I'm hoping and praying that as he goes out into the world will see that and recognize that and respond to that, and not the fact that he is a 6'1", black man and he is intimidating and he's dressed this way and he's whatever. I'm hoping that he leads with kindness because that's what we've taught him, and I'm hoping that the world receives him with kindness. Um, yeah, that is definitely my prayer. I'm grateful that he is a stand-up young man and that he is, like I said, kind-hearted. There's no malice in his heart. He's not vindictive. He's not out to get anybody. He's been given a lot in this world, and I feel like you've been blessed, and because you've been blessed, there's no room for you to have anything other than just gratefulness. Have yeah, gratitude, a heart full of just gratitude and just joy and just, yeah, there's no room for anything else. And so I'm hoping that he walks in that and that he always leads with that and people receive that. That is my prayer for sure because he's not intimidating and he's not a young man that is just out for nonsense. That's not him. So, like I said, I'm leading in faith and just, yeah, hoping and praying that he will be covered and that people will receive him in that he is favored by all that he encounters and that they receive him in kindness and yeah, so that's I'm grateful. I'm grateful that he is that young man, because that hopefully will make a difference. That will definitely make a difference. And I talked about in my other video, in my last video, that I was not letting go of him. I had to really, really change my verbiage on that. And I'm not letting go of him, but I am letting go of the reins so that not so that, but I'm letting go of the reins and then I'm no longer in control of the decisions he makes. He is going to be living his own life and being his own man. And I'm very grateful for that. And like I said, I'm now just walking in faith that as he goes off into the world, because we know the world is such a cruel place and we know that people are cruel, that he will be covered and that he will be favored and that he will be able to become who he is called to be. And that is just my biggest prayer that he's able to he's able to become. He's able to live the life that he has wanted and that he's dreamed of and that he makes happen for himself. That is the prayer. Like I said, the world is cruel, and what we can do when we are raising young black men is try to prepare them the best we can. And when we feel like we have not, or we don't know what we don't know, so we are just moving in faith at that point, then that is what it is. We just keep them in prayer and keep them covered. And that is our jobs at this point, other than to consult and then give them money and to, but that is our job is to continue to keep them prayed up. So let me know if this resonated because I know a lot of us carry that weight, and I know a lot of us feel that fear. And so, what I have created actually, which is interesting, and this just came out of this came out of the love, and it came out of the fear and the want for my son, and then to give him something that I am not in his presence, when I am not with him, when he's off into this world by himself, he can look at this and think about, this is what my mom would say, or this is what my mom would do. She's with me because I have her words. Is I've created legacy letters. Yeah, these legacy letters give you the opportunity to do just that in a structured way. Lay out your thoughts, pour your love, give understanding, give clarity, give education, give knowledge, say all the things that you have not been able to say or didn't think to say before letting them go. Or before letting go of the reins. This is a way to do just that. And you can share a chapter with them or share the whole thing with them at whatever point in time you feel ready to do so. But it is about legacy. It is about leaving them something that they can say, Mom is with me all the time, right? They can look back and read through your words, your encouragement, your strength, your faith, and everything you've poured into them up until this point. They can look back and say, okay, they can read that and get full and know that you're in their heart no matter what. So, yeah, click the description and it'll be linked there. But I hope that this has been helpful. I hope that you can hold space for other women who are raising Black sons, young Black men to become great in this world. Send them some love and some light, because we are up against something here. And it takes more than a village sometime to help our young Black men become. So that is the goal. And like I said, I hope this was helpful. Yeah, share and click the description to find out more about the legacy letters. And until next time, talk to y'all later. Bye.